Good afternoon, Mr. Smythe, Mr. Foreman, Mr. Hubeck, faculty, students, families, and eighth graders. Welcome to middle school closing exercises. I'm sorry we cannot be together in person, but wanted to take an opportunity to mark this special occasion. You have done an amazing job being an eighth grade class. To steal a line from Mr. Smythe, what a day. Perfect for reflecting on your time in the middle school. This day is also a reminder, in the midst of current events, of the many good things you have to look forward to as you transition to the upper school. Enduring these unprecedented times, which you've done in the past 11 weeks, has shown how resilient, flexible, understanding, caring, and versatile you are as a class. Hashtag Gilman Strong. The middle school faculty is very proud of your class. We acknowledge your unique strengths and interests and your distinctive personalities. The class of 2024 is a compassionate class, a class that looks out for one another. Your friendships and bonds are solid, stronger now more than ever. You have definitely made your mark on the John M.T. Finney Middle School. On behalf of the middle school faculty, I want to say thank you to the parents. We have enjoyed partnering with you on your son's education. To the eighth graders, congratulations on your completion of middle school. Have a restful summer and be ready to start the upper school anew. Have a wonderful time celebrating these last moments of eighth grade with your family. Congratulations, class of 2024. At this time, Mr. Foreman will give the invocation, followed by the singing of America the Beautiful and the remarks of the eighth grade class speaker, Chukwunedum C. Igbo.
Good afternoon. Let's ready our hearts and minds for the invocation. Will you pray with me? Most High and worshipful Father, we thank you for bringing us together this afternoon in friendship and fellowship. We thank you for the gifts of the Gilman Five: integrity, honor, respect, humility, and excellence. Also, thank you for bringing together our family members, teachers, friends for this joyous occasion. We ask that you would continue to bless each and every one of them. Bless this ceremony and everything that will be said and done. We ask this in your name. Let everyone say, Amen.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, and fellow classmates. First of all, I want to say that I am very honored to have been chosen to give this speech today. I want to thank Mr. Smythe, Ms. Alexander, Mr. Marner, and the middle school faculty for assisting me in preparation for today's closing exercises. We as a class would like to thank our families and friends for their support throughout middle school. A particular thank you to my family. I would not be here without you. Also my friends for encouraging me and helping me write this speech. Lastly, a special thank you to Ms. Anthony and Mr. Thompson for being amazing homeroom teachers this year. 106 proud. When I was preparing this speech, I thought of what would make it different from all the others before me. And of course, the pandemic came to mind. What is going on right now is completely unknown to us and our parents. We are all experiencing something that has never happened before. Many things that we were looking forward to have been canceled. The 8th grade dance, the Spain trip, the 2020 spring season, and I could go on and on. Although this pandemic has kept us farther apart than we have ever been, we as a class have stayed extremely connected. One of the ways that we have stayed connected is through technology. Every day, we have been able to talk with our friends through electronics. Whether we are discussing schoolwork or just playing video games together, we are always having a great time. The bond amongst us is just as strong during quarantine. We have also found methods to celebrate one another during this time. When classmates have had birthdays, we have done drive-bys with waving and posters to show how much we care. To give an example of how close we are as a class, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the birthdays. Many of our classmates have had birthdays in April and May. When this happened, we organized drive-bys with posters of pictures of our friends to show that we were thinking of them. Those posters held memories and made the days very special for the birthday boys. For another one of our classmates, we organized a scavenger hunt to have a good time while also regarding the rules of social distancing. These are just a few examples of how banded together we are as a class. We have used this time of social distancing to find creative ways to stay connected, and this has been essential to all of our well-beings. Our homeroom advisory meetings have also been essential in keeping us connected. In-person homeroom advisory meetings were always highlights of our day. They were filled with jokes and fun times to connect with students in our grade and below. Now in quarantine, we have not missed a step. We have interesting conversations about the state of the world, and our home teachers check up on us. In one of these meetings, my advisor, Ms. Anthony, told us that for fun, we should show off our musical talents through Zoom. Different members of our homeroom played their instruments, and although most of them were good, mine certainly was not. However, this did not matter because we're all having a great time with each other. Homeroom and advisory meetings have been great for all of us to enjoy in the past 3 years. As we had our final ones last week, it was a sad farewell, but those meetings were a major part of our middle school experience. I mention all of this for 2 reasons. 1, this quarantine has not changed our relationships. We care about each other. Throughout this time, we have been committed to being good classmates to one another. We remain connected, and it is as if we are still in school. 2, before the quarantine, we already had strong relationships. Going to a time like this without solid friendships can be unbearable. Over the years, we had built these friendships through events like the 6th grade sleepover, the 7th grade bowling trip, and Expedition 8. This is something that I know we will continue through the entirety of upper school. As Admiral McRaven said in his book, To Make Your Bed, if you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. We have found our people to help us paddle, and those are our classmates. As a class, not only are we compassionate to one another, but we are also accepting. As we enter upper school, I am positive that we will be very welcoming to our new classmates and 5 even more people to help us paddle. The same kindness that we have shown throughout middle school will be shown next year as well. Our friend groups will evolve and we will strengthen our ties with one another. At the tie ceremony, Ms. Nichols said, "We are opening a new book." As we start this next chapter, I know that our brotherhood of deep-rooted friendships will grow. Our companionship that has persisted through middle school will continue next year. As much as quarantine was not the best of experiences, it has proved us one thing. We are so tightly woven as a grade that a relationship can thrive through the most challenging of times. So, as I finish up, thank you for allowing me to speak with you today. And remember, we will be back again as a Gilman community, together and stronger.
You know, it's so I want to welcome everybody and to our annual 8th grade closing exercises. Wherever you are crowded around computer screens and phones, welcome to Gilman and to this ceremony. I have to give a special shout out. I'm pretty sure that my mom is watching, and I'm pretty sure that my mother-in-law is watching. So hi, Mom, and hi, Francis. Good to have you all on the broadcast. And really welcome to everybody. Mr. Foreman, thank you for the invocation. Special thanks, guys, before I go any farther. Special thanks have to go out to Ms. Pollard, to Mr. Chicante, and Mr. Flint for all of their work on putting together this broadcast. It's been a ton of behind the scenes work, and we are very, very thankful and grateful for their efforts. Finally, Ms. Alexander, thanks for your welcome, and thank you for your leadership, your continued leadership in the middle school. Very much appreciate all of that, and continue to enjoy working with you. Nadoom, great job with your remarks. I'm pretty confident that there was more video games than school talk when you were talking about staying connected. But I really appreciate everything you said about y'all being committed to your relationship still, and that's so important, and I think ever more so now. So thank you for those remarks. I know that Danny is proud and probably shedding a tear. It's our custom this time of year at all of our closing exercises and ceremonies to acknowledge and recognize some faculty and staff. And so I want to take a minute to do that right here. We have 3 awards that we're going to present to middle school faculty. And I'll start with the Stephen Scott Advisor Award. And this is an award Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Scott established it in September of 1998. And the purpose of this award is to assist and recognize the education of faculty and recognize faculty members who excel in the area of counseling and advising of students. And this year, I'm very pleased to award the Mr. and Mrs. Stephen T. Scott Advisor Award to Mark E. L. Wachmeister. Mr. Wachmeister, congratulations. The second award is the Walter Lord Middle School Teaching Prize, and it's awarded annually to that faculty member of the middle school who is most effective in helping to develop the communication skills of students. Writing effectively, reading with comprehension, speaking with persuasion, and conducting research analytically are the keystones of an education in the middle school at Gilman. The Lord Prize recognizes a teacher for his or her commitment to teaching these skills, the same skills reflected in Walter Lord's legacy to Gilman School and beyond. And it's a pleasure and a great, maybe coincidence this year to award the Walter Lord Middle School Teaching Prize to Mark V. Lord. Mr. Lord, congratulations. And then finally, the Edward K. Dunn Family Faculty Award was established by the family of Edward K. Dunn, class of 1918, a member of the Board of Trustees for 54 years, and a loyal and devoted alumnus of Gilman. He was the first alumnus to serve as the president of the Board of Trustees. And this award is given to members of the Gilman faculty who have made exceptional contributions to the development of the character of students. And there's not a better person to receive this award this year, and it's an honor to present the Dunn Award to Mr. Eric S. Marner. Mr. Marner, congratulations. And then a final welcome, guys. We're going to get to the presentation of the certificates in just a moment. I know there was there's at least one family who participated in lower school closing exercises this morning. And there was one family I know whose son received a high school diploma from graduating from Gilman today as well. So congratulations to all of those families. And now to the class of 2024. Ms. Alexander, you stole my thunder. What a day. I know, I'm pretty sure I said something like this, guys, 3 years ago when y'all were leaving the lower school. And I'm sure I'll be thinking exactly the same thing in 4 years, but I'll say it again, or I'll say it here. I have no idea how in the world we got to this point so fast. And I know I speak on behalf of parents and grandparents and loved ones when I say this. I've spent a lot of my career in middle school. In fact, a good part of my 28 years in education have been in middle school. And yet I'm still amazed at what happens over the course of these few short years. And I know that the video, if y'all haven't had a chance to see it, that the Parents Association put together helps to capture that very visually. Heights go up, octaves go down, voices go down. New classmates arrive, old friendships are strengthened, new ones are made, musicianship improves, artistic skills improve, the paintings get better, the sound of the melody and the harmonies get that much sweeter. And even so, with all of this growth and the development, you're not fully formed. I'm not sure if any of us is fully formed, but certainly in middle school, there's so much growth to go still. And it's a lot of why we call it middle school. And what you're going to realize as you head into upper school is that your opportunities for growth and all the things that you're going to be offered in terms of programs and academic offerings, course offerings, sports, performance groups, clubs, all of these things are about to expand exponentially over the next 4 years in high school. Right? And so as much as you talked about how much freedom you got when you move from lower school to middle school, you're going to experience even more as you go from middle to upper school. You're going to gain independence. That's just like when you enter middle school a few years ago, you're going to gain independence. And you know there's that old saying that with freedom comes responsibility. And I want to get you to look at that saying in just a slightly different way maybe. And that's this. We will continue to prepare you to be independent, It's our job as educators, it's our job as parents and guardians to prepare you. Right? And we also will prepare you to recognize that we are all interdependent. Independence and interdependence. Right? There's a lot of uncertainty. Nadoom spoke about this. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. There's a lot of pain in the world right now. Right? COVID, racism, injustice. I'd argue in a lot of ways we can look at all of these things as diseases. They infect, right? They erode community, and very sadly, they take away life. And so what we're preparing y'all for, guys, is to be your best self. And so that when you are your best self, you're putting your strengths, your gifts, your inner light to good use to make a better world. One that's free from disease. It's free of racism and injustice. Put more positively, it's full of justice and peace. And that's what your continued growth will be about. So as you move from middle school to upper school, take bigger steps towards independence, right? But also open your arms and your hearts to making a better world. Open your arms and your hearts to the interdependence, that connects us, right, to each other and to something larger than ourselves. Use those gifts, use that inner light to make a better world. Guys, I've watched this class through a different lens. Right? I have, as a parent of one of your own, I've seen you through a different lens. And I can tell you, you're ready for upper school. You're ready for that independence. You're ready to embrace the interdependence as well. So congratulations on reaching this milestone. Very proud of you. Go Hounds. Great job. And now it's time for the awarding of the certificates. Great job.
Ali Suat Akpek.
Talua Colin Alabi.
Tyler Maxwell Oxelbun.
Clayton Jude Badley.
Joshua Hyatt Baltazar.
Oliver Weston Beatty.
Bruno Aaron Sturgis Becker.
Alex John Bynan.
Kyle Douglas Brown.
Quinn Winfield Buterbaugh.
Leighton Trulin Cathell.
Bryce Elias Shergott.
Ryan Wilson Coleman.
Ryan Michael Collins.
John Houston Collison.
Benjamin James Cooper.
Gabriel Brian Corwell.
Grafton Reeves Dent.
Travis Enos Lee Dutton.
Chukwunedum C. Ibo.
William Stephen Franklin.
Connor Langdon Gaines.
Jason Xavier Gardner.
Aman Garg.
Braden Douglas Garrison.
Melvin Tomo Nasia.
George Bryant Guyton.
Logan H. Harrion.
Christian A. Hall Jr.
Jackson Brooks Haney.
H. Hanen.
Patrick Reed Hervey.
James Callahan Hickey.
Solomon Reed Holton.
Zachary Charles Alter Hollub.
James Dylan Howard.
Roman Alexander Kaminsky.
Andreas Petru Karakusis.
Arya Jafar Kazemnia.
Jeevan Singh Kanuja.
David Brooks Kitchell III.
Benjamin Greg Coman.
Nathan Malil Koshi.
Wesley James Krieger.
Dejan Lane.
Austin Tyler Lanzi.
Nicholas James Lutsky.
Evan William McDonald.
Michael Joseph Maloney.
Todd Truitt Martin.
Jameson McConaughey Momini.
Owen Tanner McLean.
Quinlan Thomas McMahon.
James Cawthorn Meyer.
Brandon Akeem Mijet Jr.,
Zachary Joseph Minkin,
Isaac Lewis Mitchell,
Mason Grant Murphy Lank,
Alexander Philip Austin,
John Truman Patternot,
Duncan Cale Perry,
Noah Merchant Peters,
Chase Richard Moyer Petruzella,
Simon Xian,
Sean Eddie Randall,
Wyatt Scott Randolph,
Declan Thomas Ratchford,
Thomas Joseph Reiter,
Max Roth,
Patrick James Ryan,
Simeon Barry Schlager,
Adam Christopher Schutzke,
Tyson M. Sherlock,
Paul Andrew Shkolnick,
Peter Matthew Shkolnick,
Alok Kumar Sinha,
Hirsch J. Sinha,
Henry Pittman Allen Smythe Jr.,
Kyle Matthew Sofer,
Nicholas Lee Sun,
Finn Magna Tondro,
Errol Joseph Tucker Jr.,
Leo Z. Wang,
James Herbert Wilkerson IV,
John Anthony Wolk Jr.,
Christopher Kyungjin Wu,
Jesse Ying Zong,
Alexander James Zoyce.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gilman class of 2024.
Ready? Thank you, Miss Alexander. It is my pleasure and privilege on behalf of Gilman's Upper School to extend to the Gilman class of 2024 our most sincere congratulations on the occasion of the completion of the middle school. We look forward to working with you for the next 4 years as you continue your progress through this wonderful academic experience. The students who preceded you and who will be entering their sophomore, junior, and senior years wish to extend to you their welcome and want me to express their desire to help make your next 4 years a broadening and maturing experience. We have great respect for your middle school teachers, and we know that you come to us exceptionally well prepared. With the solid grounding you've received in the middle school, you will do well. But before you leave the middle school, I hope you will take the time to thank the people who have made a difference in your life here. I know what a loving, supportive environment the middle school is. Your teachers, coaches, mentors have taught you much, kept you on task, and recognized you as the individuals with particular strengths. We in the upper school aim to continue the good work begun here. But one of the things that is essential and expected of all Gilman boys is that you strive for justice and respect. Not only are you growing up in a time of pandemic, but you are hopefully witnessing and experiencing a long overdue change in America. Be part of that change. In the final upper school assembly last week, I reminded the upper school boys their responsibility to act. It isn't good enough anymore to think about doing something when you confront words or actions fueled by racism or prejudice. You need to cut out all forms of injustice. As a Gilman student, this is what we expect of you. And as an upper school student, we will be asked to make this a priority. You will be asked to make this a priority as part of our community. Your time in the upper school will be a natural continuum full of hard work, joy, and more importantly, an expectation to be your best self. We will do our best to make the transition to the upper school life as smooth as possible. We have full confidence in your ability to handle all that awaits you in and out of the classroom. Now, enjoy your summer, make the most of it, and know that when next fall comes, wonderful opportunities lie before you. Congratulations.
Oh Gilman, to you we will be true. Our loyalty and honor are to the gray and blue. You build our minds, our hearts and spirits too. Forever our Gilman, we pledge ourselves to you. We're forging ahead and reaching far beyond. With Gilman our strength and brotherhood our bond. When we leave these walls with memories we hold dear, it's Gilman's prayer goes in our hearts here.
As we ready our hearts for the benediction, will you pray with me? Oh God, we come to you this afternoon with hearts full of pride, not pride for ourselves, but pride for the young boys here today. We thank you for their and your assistance in their journey toward the pinnacle of success, and we humbly ask that you make each one of them proud of what they have been able to accomplish, especially these last 11 weeks. We ask that you help us to be ever mindful of our responsibilities and obligations to be of assistance to them as they move on to the upper school. For these blessings we ask in your name. Let us all say, Amen.